Welcome to Obscure Indies, where we look at underrated games. I decided to take a peek at some vintage, obscure indie games that most people have never heard of. But who knows, perhaps I could get people to try these games. Nevertheless, some of you might remember that at the conclusion of my somewhat botched June 2022 After the End review, I hinted at a future review. I thought it was time to revisit another Kraisoft Entertainment classic after nearly 2 years. One of the games I played as a kid through several game trial websites was Atomaders, which was released internationally on November 6, 2002. I remember finding this game on Real Arcade. In fact, it was through this game and After the End that I became aware of Kraisoft Entertainment as a whole. At best, Atomaders is a top-down vertical space shooting game similar to Space Invaders, though they did include some new elements as well. The space barriers are an obvious sign that the makers were copying Space Invaders. Anyway, for instance, it incorporates a weapon combo system that, if you gather 4 combination bonuses without unintentionally picking up one of a different color, enables you to fire particular missiles. Otherwise, you would waste the other bonuses you have collected. During boss battles, the combo system is disabled. Atomaders comes with 2 campaigns, but I believe the second one was originally an optional download. But however, I haven't seen a full version of this game with just one campaign. Maybe because it's difficult to find a copy because the game trial sites included the entire game. Or perhaps it was originally intended to be an add-on but was never developed. I am not too sure because even their website at the time intended to offer a ton of more levels for free. So I'm not really sure what's going on. Though, considering the second campaign is meant to be a stronger version of the first. In any case, a campaign has 5 planets with 12 levels each. Level 6 is a bonus level, and the final level is a confrontation with the planet's boss. Aside from the one that tries to charge at you, the majority of enemies discharge what appears to be fireballs in various colors depending on the enemy. Red shoots purple, yellow shoots orange, you get the point. Let's go over the power-ups, because the ships from the very top occasionally appear while you try to complete the level. Shooting down one of the ships results in either a score boost or an additional life, but you can occasionally gain control of the defense launcher, allowing opposing projectiles to be shot down. Though you could shoot the projectiles yourself, the defense launcher performs the job for you. Another defense power-up is a one-hit shield, which prevents you from getting killed and losing a life in the process. Of course, there is one risky power-up that I try to avoid from time to time, the avalanche power-up, which consists of falling asteroids that destroy anything in their path. Well, unless that is, you have a skill at avoiding specific asteroids. The combo system which occurs when you kill 4 of the same enemies is what distinguishes the gameplay, such as directed missiles that spear through numerous foes, a cluster bomb that destroys a swarm of enemies, and the ricochet, which fires 3 spiked balls that bounce around at any enemy that's hit. Now, I will say the boss fights are a bit difficult at first, especially the one in Planet Redunda, where you must follow a pattern. I recall losing a number of lives while trying to figure out the pattern, but once you recognize the patterns, it is all smooth sailing there. To be honest, it reminded me of another game I reviewed, Alien Shooter. I occasionally go back to this relatively basic yet enjoyable clone of Space Invaders. This game is simple and enjoyable to play when you're bored, but there is not much else to say about it. But however, the most noteworthy feature is the MIDI soundtrack, which along with other Kraisoft games is what got me into MIDIs in the first place. It's that sensation you get when you launch the game and go to the first planet and the first tune you hear is this 9-minute monster of a track. It's intriguing to me that a game this straightforward, which hardly receives any attention, has such a great soundtrack. It really has no business slapping this hard, which is why I adored Kraisoft Entertainment for this reason. Their unique games with amazing music are like treasures in my eyes. Nowadays, getting a copy of this game is still legally available for $20 on Kraisoft's website, but you will need their game launcher. However, they did have a web browser version for a while, but it became unplayable when newer browsers were released. I am not sure if it was created with ActiveX, but who knows. Maybe I'll try to get it to function with an older web browser in a virtual machine someday. Although I still wish they would release their games on GOG.com or Steam at a lesser price, especially if it's a simple game like this. Anyway, that concludes this Obscure Indies video. Do you have any comparable games like this? I would like to hear it in the description down below. And as always, peace out.